Miami, Miami, Miami. It feels like Miami.
Welcome to your post-Christmas MHB edition. I'm your host, Giancarlo Navas. And with me today, we have host of Pregame and co-founder of StreamBeat, Franky G.
What up?
How we feeling? Merry Christmas. Almost Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Chrysler.
Merry Chrysler.
To all those who celebrate. We love y'all.
We love y'all. And listen, what a Christmas Day game the Heat got off, obviously, on Christmas. I'm not a tyrant. I don't make us do post games on Christmas Day, but I was at the game with Christian Hernandez, Nikias, Alex, whole Solana, whole former Heat Beat litany of people. Watched the game, had a great time, and enjoyed a sensational performance from Jaime Jaquez Jr. Franky, which we're going to talk about today on the pod. I think today's a great day to kind of discuss kind of how we feel about his season as of now, to kind of talk about how, we feel his ceiling is. I saw Leif from 5 on the Floor tweet out, maybe no ceiling applies to more than one person. We can get into that. That's quite the claim. And I want to listen. Chef Trilly, famous Heat tweeter, janitor of the Kaseya Center, he tweeted, listen, we got to push this Jaime Jaquez 6th Man of the Year narrative. And I, for one, agree. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. That's kind of what's on the docket for you guys today. But Franky, let's start with yesterday and kind of move our way around. 31-10. Those are big boy numbers on Christmas, on a night where Jimmy Butler's out. The nation is watching, right? Even non-basketball fans are watching on Christmas. His performance that's like a breakout. Holy shit, this guy's good. 11 of 15 shooting, no turnovers. Incredible.
The no turnovers on the national stage like that. Just the efficient shooting, of course. I mean, anybody can have a hot night in the NBA, but to be 11 of 15, no turnovers, and really like your first primetime performance in the NBA. Like that's that he's had national games like that in college. He's played in the Final Four. He's played a lot of big games in college. But like when you're in the NBA, it's a little bit different. And when you're doing it on Christmas Day, that's when a lot of people are tuning in for the first time. They're like, hey, football season's pretty much over. My teams are out. Let's watch some national spotlight games and let's see who's who. And Jaquez is legit. He's legit. He's so fun. I'm so glad he's ours.
And the 49ers-Ravens game that was going on at the same time was awful. Brock Purdy's a fraud. So Jaquez had the game against Milwaukee, which I would argue that's his like breakout game. He played a sensational game, the one that they lost where Jimmy was out. This felt different, Franky, because Jimmy's out and they won. That one, Jimmy was out and they lost, although he played a great game. And it's just, I did hear Monica McNutt on the broadcast was kind of hard on him. Mm-hmm. So probably not the best. I was at the game, so I can't tell you what the broadcast said, but I could tell from Twitter, people were not happy about his coverage. But listen, I think the game kind of speaks for itself, Franky. And let's kind of just, on a night when without Jimmy, their half-court offense looks anemic. And the second he starts going, his post-ups, what he does off the dribble, what he does in pick and roll, all the stuff, all the little things he provides on offense are what they're bad at, Franky. They don't get anybody. He goes sprint. I think the most impressive thing he does, Franky, is he gets to the rim. Like he'll twirl and spin and kind of like work his way either with the footwork or the ball handling. That is like the element of the Heat's offense that they've been looking for since Bubble Goki.
It really is. Some stats from our own John Jablanca, aka John Jagenda. He takes about the same amount of rim field goal attempts as Jimmy this year. Actually, a little bit higher per 100 possessions. 6.9 for Jaime, 6.4 for Jimmy. He's shooting 65% inside, 40% rim frequency, 80 for 122, and 59% are assisted. That's usually like on cuts. And he's doing a lot of it with Jimmy off the court too. He's averaging 17 points per 75 possessions on 55% effective field goal percentage, 59% true shooting from a rookie, guys. And he's giving you, without Jimmy on the court, 62% on 8 rim field goal attempts per 100. Like, he's doing a lot.
Say that again. Say that again.
62% on 8 rim field goal attempts per 100 possessions without Jimmy Butler on the court.
He's, by the way, I mean, Jimmy's finishing this season. He's at 53.7%. That's not good.
No.
The fact that Jaime is giving you that, I believe Duncan's their best finisher. He's at 61%. Jaquez might be more. Jaquez is at 64%. I think Tyler's also a little on the low end. Regardless, yeah, Tyler's at 48%. Yikes.
But Tyler's got such a small sample that the one Detroit game really affected him.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's absolutely true. He'll get the numbers up again. By the way, quick aside, I was looking at Jaime, and we're gonna get into some of these other stats. Tyler Hero is shooting 72% in isolation, and the Heat are scoring 1.39 points per possession on Tyler Hero isolations. That is incredible. So they're getting insane production out of him.
Cooking.
But yeah, Franky, Jaime, I mean, the stuff on post-up. So via NBA stats, the Heat are getting 1.07 points per possession on a Jaquez post-up. That's crazy as a rookie. I mean, about 67th percentile, which is above average. Again, this is a rookie who is like doing that, and it's with footwork. And the best thing is that you feel good. You feel good when he does it, because when he does, Franky, I've talked about this play, and I don't know if you remember it. It was against the Knicks, and he's posting up on the right block, and he had been killing New York. It was that game that they blew the big lead. He'd been killing New York, and New York decided that they were going to double a rookie, which is like ultimate respect that and this is not like, I mean, I know we laugh at the Knicks, but like Tom Thibodeau is like a good defensive coach.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're doubling the rookie. The Knicks start sending help on his blind spot, and he's in the post, and he spins away from the help and throws a across the body pass to a 3-point shooter at the top of the key. That's such a degree of difficulty that I could not believe that a rookie did. And it's just his feel for the game. His post-up numbers speak for that. I know you had some other post-up numbers that you told me about that were incredible off the pass. He's been so good at all those other things that this team has desperately lacked.
He brings a sense of control with his body movement and his decisiveness, all his decision making. Like there's me and Siobhan and Tiff were talking about this. Like at this point of the season, for us to like be only able to point out like a handful of times at most, or like I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. Like that is very rare from anybody, especially from a fucking rookie. You get 5 times a quarter from Josh Richardson. No, I love you, Jay Rich. But Jaime Jaquez probably has that in all season, if that. You can, even his mistakes, you can understand for the most part. It slips out of his hands or something like that. It's not much decision making mistakes, and that's where you love to see. Shout out to our friend of the program, Mark Schindler. He just dropped a Jaquez article on bettingodds.com. He had some great stats here about his post game. Jaquez posts up roughly 1.5 times per game, 42 times total, including pass outs. He ranks second out of 65 players in post-up efficiency, generating 1.381 points per possession. That's a crazy number, by the way. For reference, Jokic, the MVP, averages 1.198, and Embiid averaged 1.126. He's been more efficient than those two in post-ups.
It's the passing and the assists, and credit to the Heat shooters, because I think that those guys like Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero, when he's played, and even guys like Jimmy to an extent, like all these guys, Caleb Martin, who's kind of shooting better as of late, up to 38% from 3 after a really rough start. Kyle Lowry at 44% from 3. Josh Richardson has been shooting better as of late. So these guys who are shooting the ball really well are helping Jaquez kind of get these, like, helping the offense move, because these guys need, most of these guys need their field goals assisted.
Yeah.
And the way that Jaquez is moving the ball, grabbing help, as we talked about the Knick game and in conjunction with Franky's stats, they're moving. Franky, I've loved the way that they've moved the ball.
Mhm.
And I think he's kind of been that connector piece that they need on the floor to kind of get in from their star players to their shooters, or sometimes he's the star player in the offense last night. So I'm like so happy.
No, I mean, when we talked about him on Draft Beat, we highlighted how smart he was. Like, his feel is insane. Just knows where to be all the time, knows how to play. He moves the ball so well, knows how to take good shots within the flow of the offense, but knows when to be aggressive, knows when to attack, how to attack a closeout, knows how to use his body, knows how to use his balance. And that's why he's so good, because he doesn't have to force the issue. It's just, I'm going to get mine within the flow of the offense. I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to take charge, and I'm going to help everyone by being the player the team needs at this time. And that's really difficult to say and really difficult to do. It sounds easy, just do what we need. But to execute it is another thing, especially as a first-year player. I don't care his age. He's a first-year NBA player, and he's looked very smooth, very controlled, very disciplined, uses his body so goddamn well. He bumps and creates space inside so well, uses the post-ups, uses the flicks, the little up and unders, the scoops. He knows how to use everything in the book. He reminds me a little bit about, we used to talk about Goran's iron shoulder.
Dude, what a great comparison.
Yeah, man. He just knows how to use it. He's not an overly explosive athlete. We know the vertical is there, but his athleticism comes from his balance, his body control. And a lot of ways, like Jimmy Butler, that's where his athleticism shines, his strength and body control.
Shout out to chat member and perennial listener Bronx Joker, who saw that we went live, said I stopped watching Hunter x Hunter to watch this. If you're watching on twitch.tv/Miami Heat Beat, we fucking love and appreciate y'all rocking with us on Boxer Day. Boxer Day, day after Christmas, December 26th.
Is it a Boxing Day?
Is it Boxing Day? Boxer? I don't know. I just know
boxing.
that. I just know that there's a lot of English soccer on, and my team, Liverpool, won 2-0. Top of the table, lads, by the way. Fuck you, Aston Villa. Fuck you, Arsenal. Fuck you, City. We're at top, baby. So I'm a happy guy, man. My team's at the top. The Heat got a win on Christmas. Shit's looking good for us. Franky, Jaquez is. We kind of talked about like kind of those other things, the passing, all that stuff. Shooting the ball, great. Shooting the ball, 38% from three. He's been money from the corners, which is like for a Eric Spoelstra offense. So I believe on one of the corners he's shooting. I had the stat pulled up. He's shooting an insane amount from one of the corners, and the Heat are just a really good corner team. So the left corner, he takes his shot density is like incredibly deep, which is good because Miami, the way that the Heat run their offense, they, it's a lot of when they go downhill, it's a lot of pick and roll, and teams overhelp off that corner because you want to prevent Jimmy from getting to the line. Mm-hmm. You want to prevent Jimmy from getting to the rim, and you want to help get a guy in between Bam and the rim on the roll. Really, Tyler's not kind of going to create enough offense going downhill. So you really need to stop like these guys that are like kind of feasting. I mean, Tyler's doing a lot of damage in the mid-range from three. That's kind of like his game. These are the guys that kind of go downhill, even Jaquez. But when you have that guy in the corner hitting shots, it's much harder to help. And if you saw during like the Jay Crowder, some of those Jay Crowder games, a lot of the Andre Iguodala games, PJ Tucker in the playoffs, Franky, you see good teams just cheat off those guys and be like, I don't care if that guy catches the ball. He's not going to hit enough of these threes for it to matter. And what matters more is shutting Miami's water off, which is getting free throws. And they have. So Jaquez being able to hit that corner shot is so huge for the offense. I want to see a little bit more of him doing some hammer with Duncan, because I think he could do some fun relocation stuff, get an even deadlier shooter in that corner off movement where he thrives. So there's even another level where their offense can go, because they're not doing a ton of that right now. Duncan and PJ were like, Frankie, I love those. I love that action, that PJ
Yeah.
hammer screen for Duncan to relocate to that corner. Just two good shooters. But that is, I think, so critical. Frankie, his shooting, and he hits them in big moments, man. A lot of fourth quarter threes.
Oh yeah, I mean, the first one that comes to mind is the Memphis game, the dagger three in the corner to just put him away. This just got the guy, real experienced guy, been in a lot of big moments in college, and he's not afraid of those moments. You could tell he's a California kid, UCLA local kid, wore 24 in college. You know who he looks up to. It's no way around it. He admires that Kobe. He's admired Jimmy since before they were on the same team together. He likes the big moments, and he's smooth, he's composed. I really enjoy how he really has. I talked about his body control a little bit in the post ups, but it's just all over in the shooting. His shooting, his mid range, and we haven't even seen a lot of his mid range jumpers yet. But that's something he really was comfortable in college, and for him to expand his range, open up the catch and shoot, which like you mentioned how important it is for the Heat. But as a rookie, as a role player, like the catch and shoot is one easy way you can get involved offensively. Just be there, hit shots off your star teammates, and he's done that excellently while expanding his game when the team needs him to, and his body control. And on defense, on offense, using those shoulders, using that strength, keeping that balance. That's why he's so good getting to the rim. And me and Kelly O'Burner, we're talking about it today. How some of his fouls, like they're borderline, like he could be getting to the line a little bit more if he got some respect. I think some of it is just that he's so good at getting space that they're not really fouls. Like he's just creating space. Maybe when they start sending bigger, stronger defenders at him, we'll see some more of that fouls called towards him, and he's more on the scouting report. But I think he's just going to get some easy. He's not going to get the respect right away because he's so good at creating space and not relying on it. He's trying to get space to make the shot. He's not trying to get the free throw or get the and one. He's just trying to make the shot.
He's trying to make the shot. So you mentioned catch and shoot. He's shooting 38% from three off catch and shoot jump shots, which is great. That left corner, by the way, I got the percentage, shooting 40% from that left corner. Again, that's big time. He's also shooting 40% above the break, which I think that's an important playoff shot to be able to hit, Frankie, because if he's a screener, and they haven't done a lot of pick and pop with him, but they do play him at the power forward spot a lot of times. And I think in lineups where you play him and Bam together at that 4-5 with Jimmy there as well, I think that you can kind of get some interesting matchups, kind of him screening for Kyle, for Jimmy, and a little pick and pop. And since he's good at the above the break threes, a team like Milwaukee, Frankie, I think something like that's huge. I think another way, because Milwaukee, they don't drop as deep without Coach Bud there anymore. But obviously Brook Lopez, they've kind of moved away from their trapping. They're playing a little bit more drop, which is kind of where Miami wants to be. I think the other kind of interesting part about him being good from above the break is, as we've seen Eric Spoelstra do, if you try to hide a so-so defender on the other, not so that they're not on Bam, so you put them on the other four, because they're not going to put them on Jimmy because Jimmy will hunt that. You just start flipping the handoff and having Jaime do it instead of Bam. Now you have Duncan or Tyler getting that guy in a drop or getting that guy in actions. And now you're over helping. You're probably going to help off Bam's guy. Bam can be in the dunker spot. Jaime is such a good passer. He's on the short roll. So it's so much of that is so important because he's a threat from so many different spots on the floor. And it's just big time, man. He has been a godsend for them. And again, you may look at 14 points a game, 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists. That goes so much more beyond the box score. I feel like I saw that Chef Trilly tweeted this before. You got to almost hit the over on every Jaime point total recently. You know what I mean? It's 17 over, right? It's like it's almost automatic at this point.
Jimmy's out for sure. Over.
Oh, dude, over all the way. And I want to talk a little bit about his 6th man of the year candidacy, Frankie, because is there a runaway guy? I don't think so. And again, this is we're stealing content from Chef Trilly today. I kind of agree that there's no runaway guy this year. He's playing. If they are good, now that they're healthy, well, they're not healthy yet. Jimmy's out, but once they have, make their run, because Eric Spoelstra teams always make a run. If they finish top 4, top 3, I think he should get a lot of consideration considering how good he is.
No doubt. I'm just looked it up real quick. Sporting Bet's Dime had a week ago had Austin Reeves as the favorite at plus 250.
He's already better than Austin Reeves.
Yeah, for sure. And I think trending upwards. It's like Tim Hardaway Jr., Cole Anthony. Those are the favorites right now, according to betting odds. Jaquez plus 9,000 a week ago. I think you could sneak some money in there.
I think you could sneak some money in there. I mean, I think Reeves is going to get a lot of media love, but the Lakers aren't doing so hot. And I think that we just got to really push an agenda here. We got to make this, we got to bring this to the national audience.
Yeah, he might not win Rookie of the Year. It's going to be hard. Chet's having an incredible season. He's probably an all-star, so it's well deserved. Wemby is a fraud. No, I'm just kidding. But Jaquez legitimately is. I think he's capable. I'm like looking at these names, like the good players, but like there's nobody absolute favorites. Benedict Mathurin, Emmanuel Quickly, Naz Reid, like they're good players.
Good players.
But like I think Jaquez could steal it with a couple more big showings, continue improvement,
and the Heat success
from Mark. Yeah, exactly. Mark Schindler from his article today. His last 15 games, Jaquez is averaging 16.9 points, 4.2 boards, 2.9 assists, shooting 51% from the field, getting to the line more, playing strong defense, rarely turns the ball over, and just off good decision making. For the season, he's at a 60.7% true shooting. Like he's having a great season.
He's having a great season, not just for a rookie, for he's having a really good season.
Yeah.
And if Miami signed a role player for like the mid-level exception and they got the production that Jaime is getting, we would be going crazy.
Exactly.
Imagine if Josh Richardson was giving them what Jaime is giving them. The other thing, I don't know who tweeted this. Somebody said that like if Jaime was a free agent next year, he'd be getting like $14-15 million in free agency after the year that he's having. Weird Al says Jaime is more consistent than G's camera. Absolutely.
Oh, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Oh, I should have worn my Heat Christmas shirt. Mickey Harrison gave shirts. That would have been festive. I'll wear it next time. I'll wear it next episode. Yeah. I wear my Aloe shirt today. I'm a big Aloe guy, Frankie. I went to shop at Aloe, and I'm never going back.
Jimmy converted you?
I'm a victim of athlete marketing. I even got the hat. I just didn't feel like it, but the UPS hat, as Chad said, it's a nice hat.
Got you.
I got the trucker. Yeah, it's nice. Pistons just lost their 27th game in a row. It was Boston. Damn, I really thought Boston might be able to do it.
Free Jade and Ivy.
Was it a sweater? Was it just a blowout? Did they play today?
I don't see it.
I thought they played Boston next.
They lost to the Nets today, 118-112.
Oh my God,
yeah,
bro!
The Nets put up 41 and they lost.
Bro, I cry in the locker room if I'm Cade after that.
And quietly, the Heat almost lost to them in the first game of the season.
Oh yeah, Thursday, 7:30, Celtics Pistons. I'm sorry, that's must-watch TV for me. That is. I said, Frankie, I made the argument to my friends. I think the Pistons losing streak is good for the league.
You know what's crazy too? I heard this on a podcast. I forgot who, but the Pistons started off 2-1.
Yeah,
they almost started off 3-0.
Almost, not for the Heat blowing it. Should have been. I'm telling you, I think that this is good for the league. I think that the Pistons now. I want to watch to see if they can, if they're gonna break it. Like Thursday, 7:30, I am watching Derek White fight for his life against a
Oh my
hungry
God.
Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham.
I'm watching too. And for it to be at Boston, oh my God.
Oh my God. And then nobody wants to be the ones. So the other thing is that everybody who plays Detroit is like playing it like game 7 of the finals because you don't want to be the team to lose to them.
Guys, I got great news. The
Yes.
Heat don't play them till March.
Yeah,
So
no.
there's no way it's gonna be us.
Or it's going to be the worst loss in the history of basketball. One of the two. Because if the Heat were going to play them, it was going to be us.
We somehow see them 3 times in March.
Whatever.
Including a back-to-back, but we avoid them until March. That's
If
good.
we saw them now, it'd be so cooked.
Oh, it'd be over. Jimmy would put up 12 points.
Jimmy wouldn't play.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, chat's right. Sandwich says if Boston loses a Derek White All-Star, gender will be dead. I hate that. I hate the Derek White All-Star thing.
We are all Pistons fans on Thursday.
We are all Pistons fans on Thursday. I don't know, Frankie, is there anything else you want to add about Jaime Jaquez Jr.? I think that you're right in that none of those guys in the award chase have really separated themselves to a place that you're just like, okay, well, Jaime just cannot catch that guy. I feel like they're all within striking distance. Obviously, he's not the favorite. I think that some of those other guys that you mentioned are probably going to get a bigger media look. And I obviously, like, it's going to be tough for a rookie to get it. And obviously, listen, we didn't talk about this today, but I think that Jaime, while he's very good defensively, has some work to do on that end. I think that, you know, he can improve a little bit. I think that on quicker guards, he struggles a bit. I think at the end of games, you know, sometimes his decision-making is, you know, not the best. I think you saw in that Bucks game a little bit. He got targeted by Giannis. And obviously, listen, Giannis is awesome. So, you know, he's going to do that to you. So it's not like an indictment on him, but, you know, guys are going to,
though.
huh?
That was stuff we knew. Like when we were talking about his when, you know, I mentioned this before on Twitter, but like when people were talking about his athletic questions, it wasn't about can he dunk. Like he had a 40-inch vertical or something like that. He was highly he tested very highly at verticality. His lateral quickness, he was like 35th out of 68 prospects in this last combine. And that's mediocre for that, and that's just in that draft. Like that was where his question marks are when he's switching onto a quicker guard. And you saw that Jalen Brunson, that game that he blew, Jalen Brunson was targeting him. There's you know, you mentioned the Bucks, Giannis. He's a big, strong dude, but he's also only like 6'6", 6'7". So it's, you know, Giannis is gonna have his way with that kind of guy. But against smaller guards, he's good. He's great. Most guys he can guard and size up if need be. But yeah, there will definitely be guys on almost every team that can target him and make it a little difficult for him.
Chat is roasting me. They're saying that Leches commissioner said, are we just going to ignore that we roasted G's wardrobe so bad he started buying clothes called Aloe? Listen, I'm not going to lie. There was one episode where we had on Jasmine, maybe the funniest person on NBA Twitter, and she roasted my collars so bad. I tried never to wear like a dead collar. Now I just buy like, I make sure I almost wear like the best clothes I have, or like t-shirts and stuff to not get roasted. I'm scared.
I mean, rightfully so. Jasmine cooks most people.
Bro, I wore nice clothes and chat said I looked like a UPS driver last time.
Bro, I'm looking at these 6-man candidates, and like everybody's averaging like almost the same thing as Jaquez. It's the one, if anything, it's like 1 point more, but that's like all they do. Like Hardaway averages 17.4 points per game, but he's doesn't do anything else. 0 blocks, 0.4 steals, 1.5 assists. Like doesn't contribute any other way. Cole Anthony is good, but like it's guys like that, like good players. But it's I think Jaquez, we can make a run. We can make a run here.
They can make a run. You know, Frankie, you know what the thing that I think that he has over so many of those guys and so many rookies too and I know Siobhan talked about this today on Twitter. It's the body control that he has. When he goes at guys with those spin moves and everything, the hang time he has, it's not like Dwayne Wade hang time, where he's like flying.
It's old man
He
weight.
he contorts and gets just enough elevation, just enough body control, just enough hang time to kind of get the defender moving one way, able to kind of sneak by. He can hop too. I mean, he can dunk, and he's had a few beautiful ones. It's kind of like when he gets the step, it's almost like he falls and like flies past dudes and then does these finishes, the up fakes. I mean, the fact that he has a pump and go, it's just so huge. He's been a good enough shooter that teams have to respect the pump, and he's been going, which it's even better when he's going to the rim. He has such a complete, polished game that if this is who he was as an NBA player, you're happy.
Yeah.
Which I think you hope that he gets better. And I think that's like one of the concerns. People are like, well, how much better can he get from here? I think that he can improve defensively some. I think his shooting can improve a little bit. I mean, his ball handling is really good in the open court. I think that, you want him to kind of get more comfortable running more pick and roll. I think Frankie, one of the things he does is he runs pick and roll with Kyle. They run the more kind of an inverted pick and roll, and teams aren't really switching that, or if they do, he's just bigger than guys and he's getting the angle. Sometimes teams will screen and he'll kind of spin away from the screen while faking going that way. It's like things like that they just have like this actual creativity on offense.
Yeah, I think there's a lot we can see more from him. You kind of want to expand his role as much as possible and just to see what's the limit, where's he struggling at that it can't grow. The ball handling, I think he could be a little crisper with the ball handling. But he does such a good job at getting to his spots without needing to be a flashy ball handler. Very efficient in getting there. I'd like to see him more in isolation and pick and roll, ball handling, making decisions like that, like testing his abilities when he's facing a switch big, trying to see that. Can he
that
can he
that
pull
in the
up?
playoffs?
Can he blow by guys? That's going to matter. Yeah, those stuffs are going to matter. I want to see him handle the fucking ball as a six man. I want to see him bringing the ball up instead of Caleb and Josh. I was listening to Mixed Bag and they brought up Alf brought up the stats that Jablanca provided with that Caleb and Josh hold on to the ball too much. And, they're good, talented players that can attack a closeout and bring the ball up, but you don't want them holding on to the ball. I'd rather see Jaquez move the ball, find the weak spot of the defense, manipulate the defense, read the help for, I've seen him make the skip passes and stuff, but can he manipulate, force the help to come and then read the defense like that? There's a lot of stuff he can still improve on, and you want to test where it's at in the NBA and doing it on a frequent level. I think he has a lot of those skills, but it's just about, sharpening it. And I bet you Blancas, Weird Elf says. I also think he can get in better shape. I think he can get stronger. He's only 22, about to be 23, I think. He can get stronger. Yeah,
and he's already strong.
Exactly. But get physically more
a year stronger with an NBA training staff.
Exactly. Because there's always the rookie wall, and so far he's been great. He's had a couple games where hasn't shot the ball well and stuff, but overall, that probably happens at some point. His body just doesn't hold up. He's had injury issues in college, a lot of bad ankle injuries. Sounds familiar, Jimmy Butler. But there's stuff he can always improve on, and I just want to see what's the limit with this kid. And like you said, if this is the limit, it's still a really good player,
bro. If he just averages this for the rest of his career, who's mad? Obviously that's not gonna happen. And listen, guys can regress. I mean, we saw Winslow, a guy that regressed a little bit. Josh is a guy that had his best year, really his rookie year, and then just kind of calmed down. I saw an older comment.
You see Duncan's first full year, shot the ball well, got some injuries, got some playing time issues and stuff like that. Stuff happens all the time.
Duncan, I just saw a stat. Jeff Nicholas tweeted, Duncan Robinson is currently shooting a higher percentage from 3 than he did in 2020. And I checked, and he is.
Crazy.
He's Frankie. He's
MIP.
He's shooting 45% from 3 on 7 attempts.
Honestly, are Duncan and Jaime gonna fight for 6th man of the year?
I didn't even think of that. I think Jaime's a little better. Hold on. Let's look at some. So advanced metrics say Duncan Robinson is better than Jaime. Jaime, like Dunks and Threes EPM does not really like Jaime. And I've asked people, and they say that it's mostly because of his defense. Because I was like, why are advanced metrics not loving, Jaime? And they're like, rookie stuff, but pretty much his defense is just not,
off
not
ball.
there.
Yeah, off ball. He's gotten. I think the Magic game he got exploited and was getting cut on a lot.
Sorry,
I was gonna
a plus EPM. He's adding 2 point. His win share is 2.3 estimated win share on dunks and threes, and his offensive EPM is +2. I mean, it's just really good.
No, Duncan as a reserve, according to a B-ball reference, 50% from the field, 43 from 3, 92 from the line, 66.8% true shooting.
I was going to bring up that he can have a 50, 40, 90 season. I mean, you're saying it. He's doing it as a reserve.
Yeah.
Right now, he's at 40. He's at 49% from the field, 45% from 3, and 85% from the line. So
he can do it.
Sneaky 50, 40, 90 candidate. He's been outstanding. I mean, obviously a career year for Duncan. I mean, the assists. I mean, this is a Duncan pod, but Frankie, Duncan never got to averaging 2 assists a game in his career. No. He's averaging 3 this year.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, man. He was a mainstay and a focus of the offense the first couple of years, but it wasn't like to this extent where he's affecting the weak side too, and he's moving the ball even when they're not running things for him. There's a lot of stuff they're still running through him, and he can catch the ball, get so much attention, and they're utilizing his gravity on the weak side better than they have. Man, he's been awesome. They got 2 6-man candidates, no assets.
What a time. Those could have been Joe Cronin's, as Bronx Joker says that they're gonna have to extend Duncan again. And I'm like, will you extend Duncan again? I go, buddy, they're gonna have to consider how much they're gonna have to pay him again.
Put it that way.
They're gonna have to pay him.
Well, I don't know about that because he's already 29. This might be
under 30, baby. Top 30 under 30. Guys, thanks for rocking with us on Boxing Day. As I said, shout out Liverpool. Shout out top of the table. Shout out Jaime Jaquez. Shout out Miami Heat. What another almost another year in the books. I believe our last show of the year is going to be Thursday against the Warriors. So come with us. I will be on. Pablo will be on. I will see who else is going to join us that night. It's a West Coast trip, so a bit of a late start, but that'll be our final pod of the year. So make sure. I see chat saying "fuck Liverpool." Fuck you. How about that? Make sure to tune in for that post game. Should be a lot of fun. Hopefully, the Detroit Pistons beat the Celtics so we can celebrate on the show. We'll have a good time. Close the year out strong. I love you guys. Hope you guys, if you celebrate, had a beautiful, wonderful Christmas. And for all my Jewish friends this month, celebrated Hanukkah. Hope everybody who celebrates all holidays this season had a great one. And hopefully New Year's is just as wonderful and spectacular. Careful, COVID's going around, guys. Stay safe. Mask up. Keep your loved ones safe. And we'll see you Thursday. Yeah, Thursday.
Happy Chanukah.